What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So today we're going over a Cora build that I had in my How to Play Cora guide that I don't think is really getting enough attention. I want to highlight it today, and we're going to go over Tank Cora. And no, it's not shield getting Tank Cora, it's like a Naros Cora, basically. And I've been using this build a lot lately and seeing really good results. You can be very, very tanky, even on the steel path. And we're actually taking a step further where we've got a special companion equipped, actually a special companion duo that makes us also even harder to kill. So before we get into it and go over the builds and all that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you check out the live stream channel as well. We will be live streaming some Warframe tonight. Dude, last night my internet went down randomly for like 5 hours mid-stream. That was so frustrating, but hopefully it doesn't happen again. Alright, so this is going to be Tank Cora. And the entire crux of this build is being very tanky and using some things that not everyone knows about with Cora to, just do more damage and all that kind of stuff. So here's the setup. It might look very similar to an Naros build, and that's by design. We've actually got an Umbra Forma on Cora as well. Now, you don't need to run an Umbra Forma on Cora, but even for my standard camp build, my standard camp build has not been changed by me putting an Umbra Forma on Cora, so it's not really been a big issue. But yes, so we have triple Umbra here. We have 1100 armor, but 79% damage reduction on health. Once we proc Arcane Guardian, it's about 87% reduction to damage on health. And then we've got adaptation as well. And then we've also got Venari bodyguards. This is one of the focuses of this build to be tanky. So you can just basically stand there, and the way this works is if you were to die for some reason, instead your cat Venari will sacrifice itself and give you an extra life. And then it goes on cooldown for 150 seconds. Every kill you get after it's on cooldown will reduce the timer by 4 seconds with a maxed Venari bodyguard. With an unmaxed Venari bodyguard, it still works, but you only get 1 second back per kill. It would technically save you a little bit of mod capacity, though. Alright, so that's one of our extra lives. We've also got the Panzer Vulpaphyla. And with Martyr Symbiosis, it will store HP from dead enemy bodies nearby, and then once you die, it will sacrifice itself and give you your HP back, and you won't die. So you can technically stack this. This sacrifice of death goes with the Tech Assault, 60% chance to ignore death. So if you get lucky, you can keep getting lives back and forth. So that's about like 3 extra lives right there, and we shouldn't be dying in the first place unless we're standing still taking damage on purpose, or if we go really, really high level in the steel path. So this is what I'm rocking here. Now this mod right here is the flex slot. You can definitely change that for something else. Anything that's like 9 drain or lower can definitely fit there. So if you want to go for more health overall, just go for Glider Resolve. Or maybe some more range. You want your Strangledome to grab enemies that are further away. Or maybe even some more strength. You want to maybe Forma her again, put some more strength with a Blind Rage on there, be my guest. Now, we have 200% power strength on here, and what that does influence, as far as us being tanky, is we actually have Venari. So Venari has a heal per second that scales with strength. With 200% power strength, it's 100 healing per second. We stack that with Grace, we're regenerating about 200 health per second. With all that damage reduction, we should not be dying anytime soon. Additionally, an enemy that's stuck in our Strangledome takes more damage from weapons and from Whipclaw. With this setup, we've subsumed off Whipclaw for Eclipse. If you want to use Whipclaw still, you can do the same thing, but either replace Strangledome or Ensnare. I'm keeping Ensnare for the Steel Path because using Ensnare and Acolytes is very good. So we're going to cast Eclipse here, and that's going to give us some damage reduction in the dark, but we don't really need it that much. We're going to switch to healing mode on Venari. Now the AI for Venari is really bad, so we might actually not even get it here. Okay, so the Panzer Cat, see that's 60%, that gray health right there, that's the Panzer Cat getting 60% health. Now it didn't get 60% that time, so we're waiting for the enemies to actually shoot us here. And Venari did sacrifice in that, so I guess we would have technically died. Or maybe, no, I think Venari actually died there. So, as you can see, we're kind of having a hard time dying here. Now that Venari's dead, we don't have our healing. We actually are taking some damage, and both our cats are dead, so we actually can die. That was like for a good period of time there, and we're still technically healing. We still didn't actually die. But, I jumped into Operator there, so it's not really fair. And of course, if you were actually playing the game, you could cast Cora's abilities, crowd control some enemies. You know how it is with Cora. Enemies stuck in your Strangledome take double damage from weapons. So that's pretty much the general gist of the build. Now let's get some actual gameplay on screen so you can see how this works in mission. And one of the other nice things is since I subsumed off Whipclaw, I can run whatever I want as far as weapons and melees. I can run the Glaive Prime to get some instant damage that goes through walls. I can run the Kuva Brahma with my Eclipse buff. It's better than Whipclaw for the most part. Killing enemies through walls from across the room. With Focus Tree, we've gone with the Nairu to fully strip Acolyte's armor with Caustic Strike, but you really don't need to go for this. It's also nice to have a Prime Sure-Footed built in, but I've got Prime Sure-Footed equipped, so I could definitely switch to something else here. Maybe some Zenarek energy regen, although we never have energy issues. Maybe some Matarai Void Strike. I think we'll have Matarai Void Strike for this, just for more damage. And yeah, so the gameplay starts off with me just standing there trying to die. So while I'm trying to die, it took the enemies a good 2 minutes of shooting me for me to die here. Because of the combination of all this damage reduction we have tons of armor. Eclipse also, when you're in the dark, provides a damage reduction buff, but we're actually in the light here, so we're not getting that. And then also Venari. So, like I said, the AI for Venari is really bad. You need to switch to heal mode, then target either yourself or an ally with the ability, and then it starts like a healing aura. This aura does work on the cats themselves, and it also will work on like objectives and stuff. I don't think it works on Necromex though, but it will work on defense objectives. So, is this better than Wisp? No, but I also think that this has its own merit of being useful. And Cora Prime has pretty decent armor at 350 base armor. So when you start jamming some armor mods in there, as far as armor's going to go, it's working pretty well. So these enemies can't really kill me. I'm just standing there letting them do this. And here's another thing too. I want to talk about this in the video, and I don't even know if people have got this far in the video or not, but Cora Prime is actually worse than Cora Normal at a shield gating build. So I'm in a test setup here for shield gating with Cora. You need to run every Augur mod in the game and a Blind Rage to have negative efficiency, because with a 25 energy cost of Whipclaw, you cannot get your full 94 shields back. You get 91 shields back. You need to run negative efficiency, which is actually like a -1 mod slot on Cora Prime for a normal build for shield getting. That's what caused me to make this build, the Inaros shield getting, or the Inaros tank build for Cora. Also, I put a Umbra form on Cora, and I wanted to justify that. So, yeah, this is what you can kind of look at here. Of course, there's other options and other like setups you could go for, but this one has been working really well for me. There's Venari Bodyguard proccing, and I think the Panzer Cat actually died before I got around to it. Now I'm actually going to start trying a little bit here. Okay, now that we're dead, let's start trying. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We can see. So this is kind of like what you can expect for the setup. You know, you put up your Strangled like kind of like a spider web. If an enemy walks into it, you can go over there and take care of them when you get around to it. It's not really meant to be your main focus. Your main focus is just running around tanky, doing whatever you feel like, and having a weapon damage buff from Eclipse, which, of course, more power strength makes it scale harder. Also, there's a speed multiplier on Venari. While Venari is active, you get increased movement speed on Cora, which scales with strength. So you could go Blind Rage if you wanted to, but I have tried Blind Rage in this build, and it just felt a little bit unnecessary. Like, you definitely could. You definitely could technically take off one of those health mods, like the Saxum Carapace mod. That could be a Blind Rage slot. That could even be like a different power strength mod slot. But this feels good. I like having around 1,500 health. It's really flexible what mod you put in that slot. I had like a Mars, I think it's called a Mars Hatred. The new Archon mods from Narmer Bounties. A Mars Hatred, yeah. A Mars Hatred, I had that one on here. That gives increased armor and increased ability strength. That was pretty good. I also had Nira's Hatred on here, which gives increased armor, increased ability duration. Actually, it's vice versa. That one gives 150% health and 50% duration. They're both good for this. But, yeah, this build definitely will fall off. It's going to be similar to Inaros, where Inaros is, like, great on the steel path for, like, 20 minutes, and then he starts getting one shot. You have a lot less health than Inaros here, but you actually have shield gating, unlike Inaros. So in that way, you could look at it like it's actually better than Inaros, because Inaros can tank one 1 million damage rocket. Cora, with this build, can tank two 1 million damage rockets, because she's got shield gating. So, yeah, that's basically it for the build, guys. Like I said, you could definitely take off Strangledom for Eclipse instead if you'd like to. There's other Helminth abilities too, but this one felt really good. And the nice thing is we're not really focusing on one aspect of it too much either. It's like, if I'm in the light and I get damage buff from Eclipse, great. If I'm in the dark and I get damage reduction, great. I don't even care, because they're both useful to what we're doing here, and they're both really powerful. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Double Resource Weekend on Friday, or not weekend, Double Resource 24-hour FOMO event on Friday. Definitely come stop by the live stream channel to check that out. And, yeah, we will definitely be farming a lot. I have stuff to do on Saturday, but we're going to make it work. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace. Peace.